of PV system is called a PV direct system. In these systems, the PV module or array is wired directly to the appliance it is powering. In this lesson, we will talk about what a PV direct system is and what types of applications are best suited for this type of system. I will also introduce you to the equipment that is used and discuss how energy flows in a PV direct system. Before we get into the details of PV systems, we need to understand what an electrical load is. Basically, any equipment or appliance that requires electricity to function is called an electrical load, or simply just a load. Loads can be rated as DC, which is direct current loads, AC, which is alternating current loads, or as both DC and AC. Most public utility grids will supply AC power, and PV modules and arrays supply DC power, which can be converted to AC power, so we'll be talking about both. A load must be rated for the type of power it's connected to, so if you have a light bulb rated for DC and AC power, you can use that light bulb in either type of system. A light bulb rated for AC power can only be connected to a system that provides AC power. Same is true for a light bulb or any load that is rated for DC. Must be connected to DC power. On the left side of the slide, we can see some examples of DC loads. These include well pumps, freezers, light bulbs, fans, and there are a variety of other types as well. On the right side, we can see some examples of AC loads, which include cell phones, laptops, light bulbs, refrigerators, freezers, and toasters, to name only a few. As I mentioned earlier, a PV direct system is the simplest type of PV system because the only equipment required is the PV module and the appliance being powered. The module is connected directly to that appliance. PV modules produce DC power, and therefore this type of system will only work with DC-rated loads. When the sun hits the PV module, the module produces power, and that power will run the appliance. As you can see in the example on the slide, the DC load, which is a fan in this case, will operate. When the sun is down, or the light is blocked from the PV array, the load will stop. Since there are no additional devices to regulate the power flow in these systems, the speed or intensity at which the load will perform is directly proportional to the amount of sunlight hitting the modules. If it's a full sun day, the load will operate at full power. However, if the dark clouds roll in, the power to the load will decrease and cause the load to run at lesser capacity. In the case of a fan, for instance, the fan will run slower when the light is decreased. At night, these systems cannot operate, so they are best suited in applications where power is only required during the day when the sun is shining. Here we can see two very common examples of PV direct systems on this slide. On the left, we see a water pumping system which pumps water up into a storage tank during the day, and that water can be used anytime. A float switch installed in the tank can easily turn off the pump when the tank or the tub is full. The attic fan on the right is another excellent application for PV direct systems. These fans are best utilized during the day to ventilate hot air out of attic spaces as they absorb the heat of the day, keeping the overall indoor temperature of a building lower. You can see in this example that the PV module is physically connected directly to the load. It is also connected directly electrically as well. Since PV direct systems are so simple, they tend to require less maintenance than other types of systems. Due to the lack of additional equipment, the electricity is only regulated by the amount of sun shining on the array. So it's important to make sure that the DC load is compatible with the voltage and the current range of the modules. To recap what we've seen so far in this lesson, electrical loads are any objects, equipment, or appliances that require electricity to function. We've been talking about the simplest type of PV system, a PV direct system, which only uses PV modules and a load. And it only works when the sun is shining.